Now, this woman took care of multiple dogs that lived inside the home, according to this report. So this woman is clearly a dog lover. She let two dogs and her grandson out into the backyard while she ate on the back porch. Now, it does not say it in this article, but I assume she let them all out to play with each other. Right? A 2-year-old. This is what a 2-year-old looks like. Her 2-year-old grandson play with two dogs. Sounds like yet another scenario where the dogs were treated as if they were harmless children. Fur babies. That's the saying, right? This is what the fur baby narrative leads to. They end up treating the dogs like children. Don't they make strollers for dogs and everything else? Here was a scenario where she let all of the kids out to play together. Dogs with a 2-year-old. So she went inside the home for a moment. She trusted the dogs that much. They felt that much like children. But when she came back out, both the dogs and the child were gone. Gone. She ended up looking for the dogs and the child at a different building. She had to move to a different location. I assume she had the feeling what was going on when she saw that they were gone. Lo and behold, she found the dogs and they were mauling the 2-year-old. Once again, we have a story where the dogs waited until the adult was not around. How many times have I reported on that? Multiple stories. Take note of all the images you see in stores, media, internet, everywhere, social media. The images you see of kids being affectionate with dogs. They're everywhere. These are the types of situations that they encourage. This is the type of atmosphere that they are creating. This dog love culture is criminal. This scenario played out like something out of a horror movie. One minute, there's this happy, jolly scene where a 2-year-old is playing with sweet-hearted fur babies. But I believe in this moment when they were playing, those dogs were actually watching her. Dogs have a great peripheral vision, greater than humans. They can be watching you when they appear to be looking at something else. And I believe these dogs were watching this woman. And as soon as she went inside, they clamped down on the child and dragged the child into a different location to ensure that they would have plenty of time to kill the child. This is serial killer behavior. And these people call me immoral for calling this out, this culture out, for saying that these creatures should not exist in our society, primarily for child safety, in the midst of things like this going down. Oh, but if the sweetest souls were rewarded with the longest lives, dogs would outlive us all, right? No one has the right to hurt me, right? They project children as terrible. We even had a woman lie on a child that was attacked by a dog by saying that the child provoked the dog by sticking its arm into the dog's territory under a fence. Kids are so terrible and dogs are so much better. But do you think this would have happened to this child had that child been playing with two other children. There was a woman who was eaten by her dogs. It's like a week or so ago. She was playing with the dogs in her front yard. Many of you remember this story. And the dogs started eating her. Now, had I told this woman, don't do that because you might get hurt, you know what she would have said? My dogs would never do that. They are the sweetest things in the world. And I'm willing to bet that had I told this woman that it is dangerous to allow those dogs to play with a 2-year-old, she would have said the exact same thing. My dogs wouldn't hurt a fly. How dare you? She would have got offended. Those are my fur babies. Those dogs know that child. They will protect that child with their life. People literally impose human mentalities onto predators. Dogs. The number of stories I've reported that involve dogs attacking kids and babies after the adult leaves or falls asleep are endless. Yet people continue to be as stupid as they were when the very first child was mauled after the adult left or fell asleep. They allow their minds to be shaped by images of kids hugging dogs, shaped by dogs in movies, by people calling dogs fur babies. As I've said repeatedly, this dog nut culture, more than anything else, is dangerous, primarily for children and babies, who are much more likely to sustain severe injury and death. To even report on this gives me a sense of embarrassment. I am ashamed to be a member of the same species that engages in this level of inhumane insanity. For people to have such poor sense of protection for their young is truly jaw-dropping. This is yet another sacrifice to their gods, dogs. No matter how many times this happens, they will not entertain the idea of not allowing dogs around their kids, no matter how many kids are attacked. This means they are willing to take the risk. That is a sacrifice. You sacrifice children's safety. Dogs exist at the expense of children's safety. These are examples where dog lovers demonstrate that dogs are more important than children because they refuse to eliminate the presence of dogs to prevent situations like this. They think they're in control. They think they know the dog. No, I'll take the chance. If the dog mauls the child, oh well. I'll just set up a GoFundMe and start a petition to save the dog and collect some money. I'm willing to take the chance so that I can keep my fur babies around. That is nothing short of child sacrifice. This is a real bona fide cult, and it requires blood sacrifice. And the creature that they worship itself prefers the blood of children. Like a demon that has possessed the body of a mutant that appears to be looking in a different direction, but it is actually looking at you, the adult, waiting for you to leave or fall asleep so that it can kill your child. These people bend over backwards to create dog cruelty organizations to protect these creatures. They do not form organizations to protect their children from these creatures, even though 500,000 of their children are in the ER each year. compared to only 6,000 of these worthless mutts being abused every year. This is why I have enough ammunition to create an entire channel on this sickness. I can't say it enough. These people are disgusting, extremely sick and immoral, subhuman criminals who have a sense of child protection that is several times beneath that of wild animals. No other animal will invite dogs around their young. And that is exactly why you have situations like this. How long will it take for dog nuts to develop the level of intelligence that is possessed by wild animals? Who knows? But this is a very disgusting culture. And you will not get one drop of mercy on this channel, you dog nuts. Mainstream media has given you dog nuts a verbal slap on the wrist long enough. I will do my best on this channel to give you nothing short of verbal fire.